talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Is everybody feeling irie today? Let's talk. First, I want to thank Mr. Corey Walton for coming on and giving the most intensive pep talk for all the postal carriers out there. Very inspirational. It is a long stretch. I will be breaking that video down and putting small clips of it up. That way we'll get to certain points and each one will definitely be beneficial for your informational purposes. Yesterday I was a little bit nervous, but he did his thing. And you guys out there, y'all make this channel work. I appreciate the love and the support from everybody. One person stood out the most, and I wanted to give my thanks before I get into this video. George Brim. I'm not sure who this person is, but they, according to what I read, the individual started their account yesterday and gifted 100 memberships to my channel. It's like $500 worth of memberships to different people. I cannot thank you enough. That was extremely kind of you. Words can't express my gratitude. As well as Mr. Yaya is me. He is, he donates every single time. I wanted to thank you as well. And every other person. There are a few channels besides mine that I want to put out there for you guys to go look up. You can kind of just punch their name in the search bar. Definitely Unconscious Thoughts. Incredibly intelligent young man. Excellent content. He breaks it down. That's the predecessor, okay? If anybody can do it, that young man can do it. Mailman Mike Yachooch, Matt Yachooch, he's out there. Mailman Saeed, he's out there. I'm sorry, but I got to do this. Postal content is what I do. I thank you all and love the comments. There's so many comments down there. I was looking at my content, my comments, and I saw comments that were in the comments. It was just amazing. Thank you for what I do. No, thank you. I'm just messing. Don't try to cancel me, okay? I text him on a consistent basis. Y'all be on it. Hey, you did that to me. Cut it out. We chat, okay? Relax. Check out his channel. Big Hamza. That's his name. Big Hamza. He just started doing some YouTube videos as well. He's a carrier as well. He's going to be putting content out maybe once every week or so. If you look him up, you might find him as well. Could I leave the link in the description? I got a lot of down there, but just look them up. For all of those that are out here just trying to get the word out, express your personal opinions, I'm glad you're finally able to raise your voice and try to change the culture. That's all we tried to do from day one, is get everybody on the same page. And for those that hate, screw you. It is what it is. We got a bunch of hardworking postal workers out here. Just trying to make a living wage, and it's very difficult when people are, trying to make a living wage and feel like that they're getting shorted on the short end of the stick. Now, I saw an article, and a few people came to me with an article, and they said, "Jay, can you talk about privatizing the post office?" I didn't really want to talk about it. I've spoken about it before. There's a new administration coming in, and this is far from political because I do not do politics on this channel whatsoever. I'm just speaking about what has been reported. Okay, so this is not about politics whatsoever. Please do not go in the comment section and try and antagonize each other about politics. Thank you. President-elect Donald Trump has expressed interest in privatizing the Postal Service. According to recent reports, he's discussed the possibility of overhauling the agency with the transition team and has stated that the federal government should not subsidize the United States Postal Service. This is not the first time that he spoke about it. There are multiple sources that report he has expressed interest in privatizing the Postal Service. But everybody's worried what would happen. So first off, let's be clear. Privatizing the U.S. Postal Service would require significant legislative action. The Postal Service was established by the Constitution, and any move to privatize it would need approval from Congress, and the process would involve extensive debates and negotiations, as it would fundamentally change a key public service that many Americans rely on. It's not that it's impossible, but it's a very complex and challenging endeavor. So people think, what's going to happen to me? Look, when the time comes, we ride that wave, okay? We ride that wave. So somebody asked me what the pros and cons were. I think they just wrote that today in one of the comments. So came up with some 5 pros and 5 cons. Stick with me and we're going to give you the facts behind it. So with the 5 pros, and this is not a knock to any postal worker, but these are the pros behind it. Increased efficiency. Privatization could lead to more streamlined operations, faster delivery times, and better use of technology. If you look at FedEx, if you look at UPS, if you look at any of the other companies that are out there delivering the same way we deliver, although they don't deliver mail, they all have top of the line equipment from Amazon straight down. They're using a bunch of robots, and their stuff be getting out there. I order something at 9 p.m. It's in front of my door at 4 a.m. They know how to move it. They're not paying their people shit, but they moving it. Cost savings. Reducing government subsidies and streamlining operations will lower the costs. That's what will happen. The cost for us as a whole. Now, that also means they're going to cut back on tons of management. There's too many chiefs, and unfortunately, a couple of the Indians are going to be out of here. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Innovation. Private companies might invest in new technologies and services such as automated sorting systems and drone deliveries. That's realistic. They're talking about drones right now, and there are other companies that are doing drone deliveries. And the only reason they would do a drone delivery, in my opinion, is because somewhere down the line, rural carriers are the ones that go out and they touch everything. We go everywhere. Postal Service goes everywhere. But if for some reason, it's way out in sticks in the woods, it's more efficient to run a drone. And people have these things. I'm not saying it's impossible. Remember, we didn't have cell phones like 20 some odd years ago. Think about that. So anything is possible. Day and age, technology is moving faster. Customer service. A customer-centric approach will improve overall service quality and responsiveness. I just spoke about it, and you brothers guys can look it up. I think it was November. They have this new post office of the future where they got a bunch of kiosks where people just come in and they handle their business and they're in and out of there. The customer service or lack thereof, like I told you all before, we have a pretty piss poor customer service rating. Customers do not like coming to us. Now, there are a lot of clerks that watch me as well, and they say, my customers love us. Well, those are the older people. They're not going to be here in 15 years. They're not going to be here in 10 years. So we have to take things for what they're worth. It's unfortunate, but it is true. The ones that come in there that want to mail stuff and they got to sit in the lines, they're going to make it easier for them to just walk up to a window, put their box on a on a tray, and the tray is going to weigh it and scan it and, measure it and print something out, and they'll be able to pay with a debit card just to scan. People use their phones to pay for stuff now. Think about that. They don't carry cash. How many of you carry cash now? Think about that. I don't. People paying with their Apple Pay on their phone and the Google Pay. All this stuff is here today. When we thought it couldn't be possible, it's here today. So again, this is one of the pros of, us privatizing. Flexibility as well. Privatizing could allow for more flexible and specialized services to meet customer demands. When people pay a little bit more, people will get more service. That's kind of how that works. Pay more, you get better service. That's just the way of the world. Y'all know that. It's not a debate. We're just talking about the pros for the service end of it. Now the cons. Let's talk about the cons. 5 cons. Service disruption. Shit. We already got that going on. Transitioning to a private entity will lead to disruptions in service, especially in rural and less profitable areas. So some places that can't afford things, again, it's all about the money, they won't get the same type of service that some place that might have a little more money, if that makes sense to you. Again, we're not looking at it like we are a public service anymore. Remember, it would be converted to a private entity. So private entities, they're all about making money and profit. Job losses. This is what we're talking about earlier. Privatization will result in job cuts and reduce benefits for postal workers. All postal workers, not just the carriers, not just the clerks, not just the mail handlers. The whole system would be totally reformed, and I guarantee there's not one supervisor or manager out there at this particular moment that would want to see this happen. That's the one thing that you can agree with your managers on, because the second that happens, damn near the fat's going to get trimmed right off the top. Some of y'all be like, well, that's a good thing. Careful what we wish for. Somebody always writes that in my comment section. Increased costs for customers. Without government subsidies, prices for postal services would increase, making them less affordable for some users. Right now, if anybody actually listened to that whole thing with the when they were talking to DeJoy said that we have third world country prices for our stamps. Third world country. What? Yeah. Every other major organized, completed country in the world charges more than we do. So we ain't making no money over here, but that means the price of stamps and everything would go up. That's where they would generate their money. Inequality. Privatization would lead to unequal service distribution, with wealthier areas receiving better service than poorer ones. Y'all already know how that goes. You live in Beverly Hills, they gonna walk up to your house with some white gloves on. I'm just using that as an analogy. And in the hood, they gonna come out there with ski masks on because they ain't gonna try and get robbed. It sucks, but that's kind of how the world works. It's how this country works. And loss of public service. Postal service is a public service. It's supposed to be for every American. But once it's privatized, if it gets privatized, there would be a total loss in public service that provides the essential services to all Americans, including those in remote areas, which will be compromised underneath private ownership. Private owners, all they're looking for, and private investors, all they're looking for is return on profit, return on investments. So if they invest money, they want to know that their money is going to come back to them tenfold. All right. So that is how, I'm not saying it's impossible, but like I said before, I don't think in my life I'm going to see the post office privatized. I mean, the government as a whole seems like they screwed up right now. And you looked at bipartisan scrutiny when it came down to DeJoy. DeJoy was a Trump appointee, and even the Republicans were scrutinizing him, which means nobody likes the job he's doing. I think he's doing an okay job. My opinion, that don't matter. But a lot of the people are out of touch. A lot of the senators are out of touch. A lot of the Congress people are out of touch. And they do all that scrutinizing so that they can have little video clips so they can say, look how I embarrassed this man. But right after that, they'll go out and take a drink with that man. All right. I know for a fact that DeJoy hangs out with Trump. A lot of people will not talk about Trump in a negative light, but they'll talk about somebody that is close with Trump. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. So everybody that's sitting up there, all of Congress, all the senators, they're two-faced. And again, this is not a political thing. This is a factual thing. They're out there saying, oh, they're just doing a horrible job. He's the worst thing that's ever happened. Is he really? Or is it that that's what people want to hear? Because he's disrupting what we normally do on a consistent basis, making it uncomfortable, living in unfamiliar times. And when people don't like change, we get stuck in the past. Now, this is not me trying to instill my will on anybody. Please don't get that misunderstood or misconstrue my words. What I am saying is that change is good. We're looking for change so that we can gain some type of profit so that when we do go to the negotiating table, there really is no excuse why they could not pay a carrier $25 to $29 to $30 an hour, why they could not raise the mail handler's pay from whatever it is that they're starting at to substantial living pay wages. But in order to do that, there has to be some type of income generated if we don't want to drain the government, because, we're not really government funded. We don't want to drain the government of whatever funds we don't have. It's such a touchy subject and such a sticky topic that'll piss a lot of people off, and it's pissing me off talking about it. But you guys asked, and I'm giving my opinion at the end of it. The facts were what I gave you in there, the 5 pros, the 5 cons, and whatever the outcome is, I believe that we're going to be all right. At the end of the day, we're going to be all right. That's just an opinion. Please leave your comments. All comments are welcome. Please don't troll each other. Don't sit there and be like, oh man, fuck Trump. Oh, fuck Biden. Please leave that out of there. All right. We in this ride together. Every one of us are in this ride together, because never once have I walked into a station and said, oh man, you voted for Biden, man. Oh, I can't buy you no lunch. No. Every one of you brothers and sisters. And that's how it is with me. We all need to change the culture. Look at it in a different light. We in here to try to make this happen. Thank you, Postal family. We'll chat. Oh, you like this? You like my hat? It says trust no one. Don't even trust JH. All right. I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.